Hey, it's your friend Tattoo, and if you care anything tattoo, follow me on my social media platform, Instagram at Tattoo the One, for all your tattoo information. Thank you, love, peace, ja.
I'm down 162 pounds in 6 months, and it feels great. Looking at myself in the mirror is a trip. I marvel at myself now because I'm like, man, I've done this in 6 months. 6 months is not that long ago.
I started this program back on July 1st at 288.5 pounds. Today I weighed in at 184. When I first got here, I was sad and depressed and stressed out. Over time, I regained my self-esteem, my willpower, my determination, and those things have helped me to grow and become happier with myself and in life.
Welcome into another episode of TFU Podcast.
Let's go.
On today's episode, we got a very special guest.
Talk about it.
We got one of the most famous, recognizable voices in LA radio history.
Absolutely.
Tattoo in the house.
Hey.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, man.
Thank you. Nice intro, guys.
Hey, man, it's about time we get this on, man.
Let's do it, man.
Man,
It's
I'm
always
so
good.
excited about this one. To be honest, man, I grew up hearing your voice. Your
Thank you,
voice,
brother.
man, you got one of the more recognizable voices in the city of Los Angeles.
I feel like
man.
doing some radio right now, man. And if I'm going to do some radio right now, I'm going to do it with one of the most poppin' podcasts. Shout out to you guys, too, all the incredible work that you guys are doing.
Thank you, man.
Because you guys are fucking hot like fish grease right now, too.
Yeah.
So we're going to do some radio. Let's do it with the motherfucking podcast, the TFU. And let's make it happen, brother. Why? It's always a good time with you guys, though. All bullshit aside,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely. So you were raised in East LA?
Born and raised, yeah. East
How was
LA.
that?
It was fun. You know, you didn't really realize, you know, you were growing up in such a rough city because it's your city. You
Right.
know, you don't really realize you're in such a rough city until you get older. And you go back and you're like, fuck, we used to walk to school every fucking day. We used to walk to this shit every day. Yeah. You know, you start realizing, okay, we grew up in a pretty fucking wild city, you know.
So you used to listen to Kday.
I used to listen to Kday, yes. I used to listen to Kday when it was even an AM station.
Right.
Right. I had two sisters and a brother. So I'm the youngest of four. So having older sisters and older brother, you know, I got to get a lot of their juice. You feel me? They influenced me a lot.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. So we just gonna go from the beginning. So it says you were incarcerated at 19. What happened?
Shit, I was incarcerated before that too. Hold on, 19.
Was that the
Hold
end?
on, give me my stripes. Give me my fucking stripe. Okay. I turned 18 in fucking jail. Hold on. Nah, I'm fucking around.
Okay. When was the first time you got arrested?
You know, I was getting arrested at a very young age. I grew up in a gang environment. You know, even my friends, my brother. You know, it was just, and not, you know, getting arrested, going to jail, fucking going through time, but always in handcuffs,
Right.
Always in the back of a police car, always taken to the station, mom having to come pick us up, or, you know, foster mom, whoever had to come get us. But, you know, always dealing with the police at a very young age. You know what I'm saying? But actually going to do jail time, going into me, because people always say, you know, going to prison, you got to go to prison, whether it's state, federal. But to me, LA County Jail, Supermax, Wayside, that's fucking prison, bro. I don't know how fucking worse it gets than this fucking hellhole right here, you know? So honestly, when I was like 18 years old, it was truly the first time 18, going into the LA County Jail. You know?
Why were you going?
I was going in there, to be honest with you, I can't really remember I think it was like warrants.
Oh, okay.
It was just a bunch of warrants.
Got you.
And when I went to court, the judge, there's no bullshit. The first time I ever went to the LA County Jail, it was like on warrants. I had to go to court, and the judge was telling me, you know, you have to pay all the, you know, the fine was ridiculous. At that age, I was just like, I don't have $2,000, you know? You know what I'm saying? At that age, you're like, I don't have no fucking, so if I don't pay this, I'm going to end up going to jail anyway. Like, you know, so she was like, or you can do 10 days.
Okay.
So I was like, and then what happens if I do the 10 days? She's like, well, you're free. You don't have to pay this.
Right.
So I was like, I'll do the 10 days. You know, and usually people are like, no, I'll pay, and, you know, I'll get the bracelet and the monitor and put me on house arrest. I was like, I'll go do the 10 days, you know, and I don't have to pay this shit. And she was like, no, you don't have to pay this shit. So not literally like that, but no, you don't have to pay. The judge, honestly, the first time I ever went, she asked me, are you sure you know what you're doing? Like, you're good. You're turning yourself to go. And they handcuffed me right there and took me straight to jail. I was out in fucking 3 days, bro.
Oh.
I was out in 3 days. So my first time ever going to the LA County Jail, I went in there, I got processed, I got to see everybody take a fucking shower, and out we fucking go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was in and out type shit. But once I seen that, and once I knew, like, fuck, I was in the LA County Jail. I was in Charlie Row. I went, you know, 3 days in the county is fucking hell. Okay, but once I seen it, I knew, like, damn, I'm good. I know what it's like to go in here now.
Right.
And I wasn't as afraid to commit crimes, so to say. And also, too, I had a very influential, like, prison life growing up. You know, my dad was in prison my whole life. Been writing letters to him since I was a kid. That was my life. That was who I was inspired by. You got to understand, when you're that age, your heroes are, you know, that my dad was like a hero to me. Getting a letter from him in prison was like getting a letter from the president.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? I would read these letters all day long. They were like the greatest things I could ever have in my life. So the prison life wasn't very scary for us. Like, it's so crazy. I seen somewhere in an interview, I think it was like Emilio Rivera saying, you know, we were chasing to die. We were chasing to go to prison. There was that time in my life where I was literally, and it's not that I wanted to die, or it's not that I wanted to go to prison. It's I didn't give a fuck.
Right.
I didn't give a fuck if I went. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't scared anymore, especially going at 18 and me saying, like, I'm going to surrender. I'll turn myself in. And going in there and having to deal with the politics, the Mexicans, the blacks, the whites. I mean, you learn this shit like that. And I was a pup in there. And then you're dealing with all these veteranos, like, hey, homie, where you from? And this and that. You know, you got to man the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't just turn myself in to be hiding on a bunk, sleeping all fucking day. I turned myself in because I wanted to get down with the politics. I wanted a boogie with all that shit. That's the real truth, man. And that's a crazy thing that happened in my life. And it's just like this, like, weird memory that never happened. It's like it's stuck somewhere in my body, but I even trip out like, fuck, I really went through all that shit, you know?
So you talk about your hero being your dad. At some point, we read that you shot at your dad?
It's a crazy story. That is true. And I'm going to give you this one. That's it. This is as far as we go. We're going to talk about some other shit after this, all right? We're going to fucking have a good fucking time here. But I'm going to give you this one because I owe it to the TFU. This is the motherfucking podcast. This is the fuck you podcast right here. All right? So fuck you right now, okay? I'm going to give you this story. I'm going to give it to you. That did happen, okay? Let me explain something really quick. I was angry. I hadn't seen my father in a few years. The last time I had seen him before that, you know, I'm going to try to give you the nutshell version of this.
No, give us the...
Okay.
Take your time.
Okay. So prior to all of this happening, my dad had been in prison my whole life. Okay. Writing letters to him, you know, always wanting to, and again, I looked up to my dad. He was a hero to me. Getting a letter from him, like I said, was like getting a letter from the president of the United States. All right. So I had an incredible deep connection with my dad through letters, through through phone calls whenever he could call. And when I was about 15, 16, my dad came out of prison. Prior to him coming out of prison, he had been writing about him coming out and saying, hey, I want to be a part of your life. I want to be with you. I want to have a relationship with you in person, father and son, you know?
Okay.
So, I mean, you know, I'm over here ecstatic, waiting for my dad's release date. You know what I'm saying? He finally comes out. And when he comes out, I mean, I'm giving you the short version, okay? My dad was, hey, I want you, everything that I said, we're going to do it, but I want to go to Mexico. We have to go to Mexico. So I was so, you know, wanting this life. I was, you know, yearning for it, dreaming about it. It's finally here. I don't give a fuck what it took. I said Mexico. At first, I was like, what fucking part of it? Michoacan, Sahuayo. It's where my family's from, where my dad is from. Sahuayo, Michoacan. And I said, for what, Dad? How long will we go? He's like, forever. We're going to fucking live out there. We're going to live in Mexico. But if you want to be with me and you want a relationship with me, let's go to Sahuayo. Right? So, you know, I grew up a foster child. I grew up from home to home, you know, and I didn't really have my parents in my life like that. So I didn't really have anyone to answer to take this trip with my dad. I had mentioned it to my mom, but my mom was not in my life that way. She gave me some pointers, you know. She tried to look out for me, and I still went. So I went with my father to Mexico, and it was a journey I will never forget. Going to Sahuayo, Michoacan from Los Angeles, California at that age with your dad for the first time who just got out of prison, and you know, like he's jumping parole. You know what I'm saying? He's violating his parole.
Okay.
Yeah, he's violating his parole. That's why he's like, I can't ever come back. Where we go out there, we're going to stay out there. My family's out there. My dad's brothers, like El General at the time of Sahuayo, Michoacan. My grandma's out there. We have family out there that, you know, and they got money, and we were going to be okay, you know?
Right.
So, you know, once I was out in Mexico, that was it. I was out there. And I had to get adjusted to the life out there. And I stood out there with my dad for almost 2 years. Had a job, had a girlfriend, started making my living. I never thought I was going to come back to United States, California, Los Angeles, right? So I'm out there building my relationship, living my life with my dad. Every now and then making phone calls back home. Everybody knew that's it. David lives in Sahuayo. David lives in Mexico, you know? And my dad liked that, you know, he liked the juice in the arm. He liked, you know, he liked those hot guns. You know what I'm saying? And my dad was doing really good. He was doing really good. I seen my dad kick heroin. I seen it with my own eyes. It was an incredible experience. Some shit you'll never see, ever know. If you don't know that life, you watch a man kick heroin. That is a true heroin addict. I mean, my dad really put a lot of effort into wanting this relationship with me. From us going to Mexico, from him jumping parole, from him kicking heroin, he got a job, I got a job. We were fucking doing great, you know? And I'll never forget this shit. Me and my dad were fucking living, dog. We were fucking doing really fucking good out there. Honestly, man, I didn't even care if we came back or not. My life was building out there, you know? And I'll never forget this shit. I remember my dad running into some old friend of his out there in Mexico, and, you know, from Orange County. Right. And I don't know. As soon as I seen this dude, I was like, fuck, this dude's going to cause problems with us. I already knew it. You just got to know motherfuckers. Right. And sure enough, like my dad, he started coming home more like, you know, that my dad was a nodder. My dad was, you know, the heroin would be like, hey, Dad, hey, all right, homie. Like, you know, my dad was so fucking... You know what I'm saying? Real shit. You know what I mean? See my dad's fucking cigarette, like just he would be like that, and I would go, Dad, hey, oh, all right. He would try to do shit to show me like he wasn't high on heroin.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I would be like, fuck, I know he's all fucked up, right? So long story short, it's a very small town. And my grandma started flipping out one day that my dad was at the pharmacy. He was buying syringes. They saw him buying syringes. It gets back to my grandma. My dad is, tomorrow we're leaving. We're going back home. And I was just like, what? Like, what the fuck? Like, hey, get your fucking shit packed. Everything. My dad was pissed. And that's how it went down. It went down like this. And the trip out on this, you know, I don't even care about holidays. I don't celebrate holidays. I don't give two shits about holidays. But it happened to be Christmas, the day before Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like the end of the year almost. The day before, like the 23rd. I'll never forget this. So, fuck, man, I'm packing. I didn't even get to say goodbye to my girlfriend. I didn't even get to say goodbye to my girlfriend. I always told her one day I was gonna bring her to LA. That never happened. So I pack all my shit, and man, I'm doing what my dad is telling me. And then my dad is on one, and my dad is like I don't know, like I've always respected, kind of feared my dad. So I was like honoring everything he was saying. You know, like, I'm with you. Let's go. You know, it was like two gangsters, two G's rolling. You know, like, fuck it, let's roll. Let's do this shit, you know? Even though everybody was yelling at my dad too, I started like defending on my dad. Like, hey, don't talk to my dad, and no, whatever it was. It caused a fucking big old riot there in Mexico.
Gotcha.
Right? So now we are we're back. We come back to we're back we're in TJ.
Okay.
From Michoacan, we're at the border in TJ. So we're about to walk across the border. And my dad tells me, hey, David, whatever you do, just say you're an American citizen. He starts telling me like what to say. And I start, you know, I know what the fuck to say, but when you're telling me, like, now I got nervous and shit. Cause I was just like, why, Dad? What the fuck? You know? And he's just like, cause I got some carga on me. Okay. So he was bringing back heroin with him.
Okay.
All right. You know, and I was just like, what? I'm like, fuck, Dad. And he's just like, just fucking it, you know. So as we're getting to the border and we're crossing, and the man tells me citizenship, right? And fuck, it's like I didn't hear him or some shit. And I was just like, I'm American. I go like that. And he goes, where were you born? And I was just like, I was born in America. And he goes, what city, you know? And then my dad stops and he goes, he was born in Monterey Park, man. He's an American citizen, right? And he's just like, okay, so they let us go through.
Okay.
So but I don't want this to turn into a sad fucking story. Remember, my dad died a happy man, and I had an incredible relationship with him. This is just one of those stories in our life that occurred, that took place to lead to me pulling a fucking shotgun out and blasting it at his ass. Okay? So when we're in San Diego now, we're crossed, we had bus tickets to get to Orange County, where my dad's family lives. And my dad told me, hey, I'll be back. I know this sounds like a fucking fucked up ass movie, but this is some true shit. My dad goes, hey, I'll be back in 20 minutes. Okay? And the bus leaves in like 30 minutes. All right? So I was like, Dad, you know the bus leaves in like 30 minutes, you know? I'll be back in 15, 20 minutes. He never came back.
Damn.
He never came back. He left me at the motherfucking bus stop, and it was fucking Christmas Eve. Okay, on top of that shit. And I don't even give a fuck about that holiday. I hate it even more because of this shit. Right?
Right.
And I'm waiting at this bus stop, and the bus man is telling me like, hey man, we gotta go. You know, he's like, I know that you were with another. I was like, that was my dad. You know, he's just like, well, is he gonna come back? He's like, I'll wait 10 more minutes. So he waited 10 extra minutes. My dad, I had to make a choice right there. And what am I gonna do? Sit here or get on this I got on the bus, man. So now I'm on the bus and I'm just stressing, and it fucking starts raining and shit. Like a fucking country song. Right? And you're like, fuck, man. I started just like, what the fuck am I doing, man? What the fuck am I gonna do? The last person I ever wanted to call was my mom. The last person I wanted to call. On the briefcase, you got to remember, this was no cell phones. This was, you know, we still had to use the fucking payphone. There was no cell phones still at this time. Okay? No cell phones, no like pagers, and you got to be a baller for this type of shit. So on the briefcase, the phone number was written on there, was my aunt's. I called my aunt when I got to the bus station in Orange County. And luckily I caught her before they were going to some big Christmas party. She came and picked me up. I fucking, Went to the Christmas party with her, and I stayed with her. I stayed with my aunt up until New Year's Eve. Okay, they're Catholic. They're Mexican, so they have big old fucking extravaganza family parties that we've never been welcome to. We're not. You know, my family has never fit into the family. Okay, we were always the outcast ones.
Got you.
Okay. So I'm watching the New Year's Eve party. Now it's New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve. Let's go a few days down. Okay, it's New Year's Eve, and I'm watching this fucking party, and I'm watching all my cousins with their fucking dads and their moms and the countdown, the clocks, and all this shit. I'm just right there, thug the fuck out. Mentality, full murder. Gangster mentality, just looking murder mode. Murder mode, like, oh man, I'm gonna get this motherfucker. Man. And that was my last day. I told my aunt the next day, I told her everybody celebrated, everybody hugged, everybody kissed. This type of shit made me a very unemotional man, bro. Things like this in your life make you a very unemotional, like no one will see me cry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like no one's gonna ever get that. You ain't gonna see that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like this type of shit made me like steel. You know what I'm saying? Having to endure looking at all your family, you know what I mean? Boom, boom, my dad's brothers, my dad's sisters, and I was just like, this motherfucker. You know, of course, the family tried to come, like, you know, show me some love and try to tell me, like, how mad they were and this and that. And I just knew, like, hey, you know what? It's time to call my mom. You know what I'm saying? It's time to call my mom. I called my mom. For one day, she was nice to me. The next day, I told you your fucking dad and this and this. So it was like, that's my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't see my dad for years. Till I was 19 years old. I didn't see him again. And then when the next time that I saw him, I had a fucking shotgun waiting for his ass. And that's when I fucking pulled and I fucking tried to shoot at his ass. And my dad told me that day. My dad told me later on, he's like, hey, David, let me tell you something. That look in your fucking eyes that day, you were going to kill me, eh? He told me I said, I was going to fucking kill you. I had this crazy, because I hadn't seen him in years. He ended up going back to prison. So when he came back, you know, that heroin is a motherfucker. I knew he got back on it when we were in Mexico. Mm-hmm. So, you know, he came back with heroin. He was telling me when we were crossing the border, I'm like, I told him, Dad, where did you go? You know what I mean? This is later in life, years later, when we were able to talk about it. Mm-hmm. He told me, I fucked, mijo. I gotta love him. I gotta write him a pass. You only get one dad. He's like, I went on a binge. I fucking went on a binge. I got all fucked up. I went to Vegas and I got caught up out there. So, you know, then back in prison he went. But when he got released, you know, he was always go see my sisters, and I was very protective of my sisters. I was very like angry type dude, and I didn't like to see him when my dad, you know, they were so easy to love him, and everybody was so dad, you know, and I was just so angry from what he had done to me. I was so hurt. I was so in pain. Right. I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? Like we didn't know anything else. You know, where my brother, where he came and visited us, I would always leave guns everywhere. I would leave guns at my sisters. I would leave guns at my brothers. I always had guns stashed everywhere. And my brother happened to have one of my guns. So when my dad and me and my dad were about to get in, me and my dad were going to fight first. There was a fight first.
Okay.
And then I got kicked out of the house. My brother was like, I told you not to fucking snap, David. I told you not to do shit here. Get the fuck out of here. So when I was kicked out, and I told my brother, get all my stuff out of your house then and bring it down to me. Him not thinking.
Right.
You know, he got my gun. He got all kinds of little shit that I had there, and he brought it down and left it there. And then I started loading that bitch up. And there you go. And I served my time for that too. You know what I mean? I served my time for that.
How much time do you have to do?
I did like a year for that. Like, and then, you know, halftime, you know, in LA time, it's no big deal, you know?
Right.
But yeah, I did about a year for that. My dad tried, but he was in prison. My dad couldn't like do anything about it because he was in prison, to not be able to say, hey, my son, he never did this. You know what I'm saying? So, but there you go. There, fuck you. There's the fuck you. Well, I mean, but deep story, bro.
No, I know.
Deep story,
No, I get it. So now you get out, and there's a contest. How between when you get out and then there's this contest at Power 106? How long is that?
Oh, that was like really close. That's close time, man.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's close time. We're talking about maybe another year and a half after that.
So tell us about
2 years. Maybe
tell
2
us
years.
about this contest, though.
Were you rehabilitated by that point?
No. No, I was not. No, I
He
was
said
not.
no.
Let me tell you, man. I went into Power. I'll be honest with you. There was probably no one ever like me on the radio at that time in the history of radio. Big Boy took an extreme chance fucking with me. But I'm gonna tell you something. He took the chance on the right person.
Right.
Because I'm here doing this podcast with you right now, talking about it.
And you're a success.
I'm a success, and I rehabilitated through the professionalism of I understood what was on my plate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Did I understand the entire plate? No. But I understood what was on there and what parts, just because there's a lot on the plate doesn't mean you have to necessarily eat everything that's on there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But rehabilitated, hell no. Going into Power as Power, like I said, nobody ever has been on the radio like
Tell
me.
us about the contest. So Power has this contest.
Yeah, Power had the it wasn't a contest. It wasn't a contest. It was
for the Lakers.
Yes.
Laker tickets.
Yes, right. So Big Boy had Shaquille O'Neal on the show like a few days before I stepped into radio. Before my presence ever became at Power 106, Shaq was on the radio.
Got you.
Okay, the Lakers are in the playoffs. It's big time. 2001. Fucking Kobe, Shaq, Rick Fox, Brian Shaw, Robert Horry, Phil Jackson. I mean, that's and that era and that time in LA radio, you got to understand it was the whole atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
It was LA. That's why the shit doesn't sound and pop off the way it does right now.
Mm-hmm.
People think that it's not just the personalities that are on radio, it's what's going on in the city as well. You know what I mean? All that stuff can make your show even better because of what's popping in the city. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there was and Big Boy, it wasn't like I was this massive fan of Big Boy.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't like this huge, I know of him.
Right.
I knew who he was. I know the billboards. His billboards were always very funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
He always had the Obsession billboard, the Playboy Bunny, him where he was doing the splits, breaking the
And this
billboard.
big boy.
This was 500-pound Big Boy.
Yeah.
So I meant to me, that was, I don't know, there was just something about that Big Boy too.
Right.
That was like his charm, his personality, his laugh. It was like, fuck, this dude's the best.
Right.
Right? Not to say that he's not right now, but I'm just saying that meeting that Big Boy, the one that was on those billboards, man, that was to me that was the man. That was the guy, But again, I wasn't this heavy radio consumer. I wasn't like listening to Power that day to win Laker tickets.
Mm-hmm.
It just happened to be on that. So Shaq was on Big Boy's show a few days prior. And Big Boy, you got to remember, no social media, guys. No Instagram, no TikTok, no Twitter, no none of that shit.
You had to be listening.
You had to be tuned in. You had to be tuned in.
Right.
And Big Boy used to do one of the greatest bits that was on air. It was called The Hat of Forbidden Questions. Now, me knowing that it's one of the greatest bits is because I was able to be a part of this show after and actually do and adding my own questions to the hat.
Right.
To be part of that, bro, is legendary for me because I was listening to this shit before ever me even being a part of this show. So the Hat of Forbidden Questions are these crazy questions that he would ask celebrities, and if you didn't like the question, didn't want to answer the question, if it was too much for you, you would tap out and call it quits. And he had a list of celebrities who had like the record. I think Mariah Carey answered 3 questions, Usher answered 10.
Got you.
And then he had like the list of how many these celebrities have answered. So when Shaquille O'Neal was in there, Big Boy puts him into the hat of forbidden questions, right? Had the intro to it. Fucking dope radio, man. When radio to me was real radio, bro. This was radio primetime shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm such a fan of radio, by the way. Like real, authentic, artistic, Rick D's in the morning radio type shit. I'm a fan of that shit. Rick D's in the morning, Kiss FM. Like that type of shit is my shit, you know?
Right.
And Big had that in the hip hop version. So Shaq and Big Boy make a bet that he cannot answer 12 questions. Shaq says, I'll bet you 5,000. Big Boy bet on 500. I think Shaq said, I'll bet you 5,000 that I'll answer 34 questions.
Damn. Oh, for his number on his jersey.
And Big Boy is like, hell no, you ain't answering these questions. Now you have to answer honestly. And boom, they start rapid fire on the questions. I'm talking fucking insane questions, bro. How old were you when you lost your virginity? Has anyone ever had an abortion in your life? I mean, the shit that you guys want to go viral for now, man, Big was doing that fucking before any of that word was even invented.
Right.
There was no such word as viral. This shit was, man, man, I mean, even I remember this shit like it was yesterday.
Right.
Listening to that, there was nothing like that. That was the real viral right there, where you were in your car like, oh my God, oh my God, what the fuck, right? And one of the questions was name 3 celebrities you've slept with. And right there, we thought he was gonna tap out.
For sure.
You know, he goes, Aaliyah, Cindy Crawford, and Venus Williams. Damn. Boom. And that was your viral back then. That was on the news that night. That was on the media papers the next morning. Newspapers, People Magazine, all that shit. That was viral back then.
Hell yeah.
So then Big, obviously, he loses the bet. Shaquille left him a pair of tickets, floor, courtside fucking seats. He left them the money, and Big Boy goes off and says, hey, man, we're looking for the biggest Laker fan. If you tattoo, I slept with Shaq on your forehead, you would get the tickets, you get the money, you get to go to the game.
Okay.
Okay, I'm my life is rough at this time. My life is my life is motherfucking rough, dog. All right? I'm not fucking thinking about a tattoo on the forehead. I'm not thinking about being on the radio. I don't care about a job. I don't care about none of that shit. Like, all these people that have later on in my life said, oh, you were so lucky. You're so this. You're so that. Oh, my God. And, man,
where were you?
I want to look at all those people and say, I didn't give 2 fucks about that shit. I didn't give 2 fucks about being famous. I didn't give 2 fucks about fucking money. I didn't give 2 fucks about any of this shit. I just wanted to go to the fucking Laker game. And when I heard that, I was like, fuck, I'll tattoo that shit. Damn. I was living in a $34 a night motel, AD. Damn. I was living in a $34 a night motel. I'm a foster child. I'm a throwaway. I'm a piece of shit. I'm fucking going, my life is heading into prison. My life is heading down drugs, gang life. I mean, what the fuck? What the fuck do I even have to live for? I didn't give 2 fucks. That was the only enjoyment. That's why I owe so much to Big. I owe so much to Big, man, because Big doesn't know. See, I told this to Big one time. I said this to Big. I said, hey, Big, I love you more than you love me, man. That's a fact. That's a fucking fact. And Big's like, Tad, you know, people always say, I love you too. And I know you love me, but I love you more than you love me. And I'll prove it. See, I like to prove things. You don't just talk. Prove it. I'll prove it. I'll prove it. I'll prove that I love you more than you love me. Don't tell me you love me more than I love you. I can never do what you've done for me. You didn't do what you did for me, I didn't do for you.
Right.
See, to you, it might have just passed you by. You brought in Tat, you discovered Tat, you named me Tattoo, you brought me and you put me in front of those lights, man. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you feel some accomplishment from that. Like, I fucking discovered the right motherfucker. Right? Good. But you don't know that he doesn't know that he took like painful fucking moments away to go, even just to go to that game was fuck. It was fucking a dream come true.
Tell us about the tattoo itself.
So when the time came, I was listening.
Okay.
I'm listening to the radio and I heard this shit. I mean, I'm like 15 minutes away from Power 106. I was right here, as a matter of fact. Fletcher, Atwater Village.
Right.
I'm in this area. Right here.
Right.
And I'm like, Power 106 is like, I look it up 10
minutes.
10 minutes.
Easy.
Right? So no cell phone, no none of that shit. I just drove there. I drove to the station. I went upstairs. I met the girl in the lobby and I said, hey, I heard something on the radio about a tattoo. There's nobody in there. Nobody's there. I just went in there and I said, hey, I heard something about a tattoo on the radio, about Laker tickets. Can you give me some information? And she goes, you know what? I don't know what you're really talking about right now, but Big Boy is still live on air. Let me ask him and see if he knows anything about this. And I said, okay, cool. So I'm sitting in the lobby and I hear the radio that's playing. It's Big.
Right.
And Big Boy's like, hey, there's a guy in the lobby saying that he would get the tattoo. We got to bring him in here and talk to him. That was the beginning of tattoo. There it is right there. And then I went into the studio. I met Big. And there it is. The rest was history, man.
You got the tattoo right there in the studio?
Right there. The next day it was the tattoo because the game was for the next day.
Okay.
So Big was like, come back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow. There's going to be some other people, There's a lot of people that wanted that tattoo. And David Gonzalez, I'm the one that got it.
So they gave you the tattoo right there in the studio the following day?
The next day. Mm-hmm.
And then they gave you the tickets?
Gave me the tickets, and I went. And that was it.
How was the game?
Oh, the game was one of the greatest experiences of my life. Kobe, they brought me onto the floor. Channel 4, Fred Rogan, Sports Illustrated did a piece on it. They took pictures of it. That was on Sports Illustrated magazine. The shit was all over the news. And I met everybody. I met everyone. I met all the Lakers. I was able to pass a fucking couple balls back to them. It was one of the greatest, if not probably the best experience of my life as far as like getting out at a game or something like that, in a sports event like that, And then the rest is history from there because I always say this. I don't want to give too much because, I got my own things coming and I want to be able to display these stories on my platform. But I'll end it with this. I'll end it with this to end this great story. I'm giving you a vault story. That's why this is in my vault, man. I came out of the vault for this one, AD. When people say you were lucky, you're lucky, right? Let me explain something. The next day, I was living in a $34 a night motel. When I gave my phone number to Big, I gave 3 numbers after the number. And he was like, what is this, your extension? I'm like, nah, it's my motel room number. And he goes, your motel room? Where you stay in a motel? And I'm like, man, you ask a lot of questions, bro. Right?
Right.
And that was one of the first things where he was like, oh my God, like this motherfucker, right? But he called me like at 4 a.m. The phone rang the next day.
Okay.
The next morning after the game. I could have let that motherfucker ring. I could have went to sleep. I could have picked up and said, hey man, yeah, call me tomorrow, call me later, dog. I could have done all those things. Now, this is not luck. This is not luck. This is called being a bad motherfucker and just knowing that always, even since I was a little kid, I knew something was going to come for me. I knew that my life, that was the way it was, that wasn't my life. I knew it. I always knew it. There was always something in me. I didn't know what it was, though. You never know what it is. You never know what it is. But when you have like a gift and you're special, you don't know what it is. You don't.
Right.
But you know that there's something in there. You just fucking know it. And that was that moment. That was that life change. To me, it wasn't getting the tattoo. To me, it wasn't listening to the radio. To me, it wasn't giving Big my number. It wasn't any of those things. It was picking up that phone the next morning. That was it right there. that was the moment, because when I picked up the phone, I didn't pick up like, hello. I picked up like, hello? And it was like, hey, David, yeah? Hey, this is Big Boy. And I'm like, oh, what's up, Big Boy? That's how I picked up.
Right.
And he goes, hey, how was that game last night? I said, oh, my God, bro, thank you. It was fucking incredible. And I started fucking telling him everything that I was doing. And he goes, hold on. Can you come to the radio station? I said, when? He goes, right now. And can you talk about this on the radio? And I said, yeah. He's like, just save it. Get ready and come to the state. How far are you? And I told him about an hour away. And yeah, come on down. And that's where it all started. And then the day after that, hey, man, come back tomorrow. And come back tomorrow. And come back tomorrow. And come back tomorrow. And I didn't realize later on when he hired me, hey, man, I was auditioning you that whole time. Wow. That was your audition. You didn't even realize that. I was popping you on to see if that was really how you were. You know, before me, I mean, honestly, no one spoke the way I spoke on radio. Everybody speaks now and says torta. Everybody says dog. Everybody says, chingon. And the way people talk now, nobody was talking like that on there. It was motherfucking taboo to talk the way Tattoo spoke on air. It was taboo. It was weird. It was wrong. It was disrespectful. It was all kinds of shit. I'm disrespecting the raza. I'm stupid. I was all kinds of shit. Now everyone talks like that. But no one, see, radio's a cold business, man. It never pays homage to the ones who started the shit, the ones who lit the flame, the ones who came first knocking on those doors to open these motherfuckers for everybody else to do the shit, man. Like Lenny Bruce, man. He'll never get his flowers. You know what I'm saying? Like Lenny Bruce was the first comedian to be able to go on stage and say, cunt and pussy and fuck you, motherfucker. Like now everybody's cursing and going crazy.
Right.
But nobody ever brings up Lenny Bruce. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker died for this shit. So I just feel like there was we opened doors, bro, for sure. And then you go from there, bro, on and on.
So now you on the radio every single day, every single morning. How was that? Going from kind of like you said, living in a $34 motel, and all of a sudden you one of the biggest stars on LA radio.
Yeah, it was crazy. Honestly, I'll be honest, man. I liked the attention only at the clubs. I was not good with it off the clubs. Like, the clubs probably was the only time it felt right and good. Like, being able to get in through that door and that nobody's able to get through and getting the love, and you know what I'm saying? But, coming from where I come from and overnight, people recognizing you and you're just in the fucking market buying cereal and shit, you're like, fuck. It was a lot, for sure. It was different for me, man.
What about your family? Your family they seen it all, this explosion?
I didn't really grow up like that with my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest with you, like I grew up in foster homes. I had a dysfunctional family.
Right.
So I don't have a big family at all. I have people who say they're my cousins. I have people who say they're my this. I have people, but they were never there for me, bro. They were never there for us. They were never like, we were the family I feel that was looked down on. We were the ones that they talked shit about, and it's all good though. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at my family or anything like that. I just don't have a big family to have shared all this stuff with.
Got you.
When was the first time you got recognized in public?
Oh man, I can't remember that, but I know that it was a very weird feeling. It still is, because I still get recognized all the time, bro.
Did you still have a tattoo?
Yes, I had the tattoo for years. I kept the tattoo for years. I kept I ran the course of that tattoo. I kept it as long as I was supposed to keep it. I took it off when it was time to take it off. I went to the Beverly Hills Tattoo Removal Institute. They did it for me. They removed it for free. They did a fantastic job. Everything that I've done in my life since Power has been through sponsors and deals and fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Getting paid to remove it, getting paid to go to the clubs, life just changed. Like, I'm not, a rich and famous, but shit, I got to live some pretty semi-cool moments in this entertainment shit,
Mm-hmm. How was it working with Liz Hernandez?
Oh, she was cool. We had our ups and downs, but she was overall a good, very good person.
Gotcha.
You know, she was a sweetheart. Very, to me, honestly, one of the greatest radio talents as far as like news, professionalism. I hate to say this, man. I can't even listen to the radio today. I cannot listen to it. Like if I do listen, I'm listening to Liz on 94.7, The Wave.
Got you.
I'm listening to the women that do the Wave, the show on the Wave. I like smooth, cool radio. It's hard to listen to reporters that are not intelligent.
So the way you are now, do you think you would enjoy Tattoo on the radio?
Would I have enjoyed him?
Would you have enjoyed Tattoo on the radio?
The way I am today? Fuck yeah. We need a tattoo. That's what's missing. Because here's the thing. You have a bunch of people trying to sound like Tattoo.
Right.
You have a bunch of people who are over exaggerating to be I was just being myself, man. I was just being myself. So would I love to hear a Tattoo on the radio? Hell yeah, I would. Because it would, even if it feels oversaturated right now with a bunch of tattoos on the air, there's only one tattoo. There's only one tattoo. That's why I can listen to 10 fucking guys that try to sound or are in that, you know, that tattoo lane. But it's not authentic, man. It's not authentic.
The real Slim Shady.
The real Slims, there's only one, man. And it's not authentic. So I think that it was the authenticity of Tattoo.
Right.
You know, Tattoo wasn't fronting. Tattoo wasn't faking. Tattoo was just being himself. And over the years, I mean, what do you want me to, I'm 47. I'm going to be 47 years old this year. What do you want me to be like when I was fucking 21? Like, I cannot be that guy anymore. You know what I'm saying? But he still lives inside of me. You know, he's still in there. And I still understand a lot of the great things that I did, a lot of the wild shit that I did. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, dog. I was getting high on cocaine, fucking eating pills. I was on the radio. I was fucking drinking. I was partying. I was getting paid. I mean, come on, bro. Like, what was I supposed to do? My friends were Oscar De La Hoya. This motherfucker. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
These were my friends.
Right.
So I was just living like a rock star life.
Gotcha.
And I don't do drugs today. I don't party like I used to. I don't even drink like I used to. You know, it's just, I have calmed down. I have grandkids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So who I am today, I think everybody evolves. Everyone does. And if you don't, I mean, fuck, you better start evolving or something, bro.
So I want to ask, so we recently, like 6 months ago, we had a power slapper come here, and I had him slap me in my chest. And it made my arm feel numb during the moment. And I just want to, can you take us through how it felt getting shopped by The Rock?
Oh, man. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That was breathtaking. He hit me so hard, it made me go like, like it almost, not fucking around. He hit, if you look at that video, you got to go back and look at that video on YouTube with me and The Rock. He hit the first chop. It's so fucking hard that I'm like, oh, like it almost took the fucking air out of me, you know? And then he does it 3 times. And you got to understand, man, I'm a WWE fanatic.
Right.
Okay? I'm a WWE fanatic. So he could have fucking chopped me 100 times. I would have stood there and took those motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? There was just something, this adrenaline that I had in me. And of course, being high on fucking cocaine probably that day. Probably being high on coke that day fucking definitely helped my fucking adrenaline as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I was fucking fired up, dog. I was fired up. And when I get fired up, you know, I'll fucking hit myself in the face and say, come on! You don't want to fuck with me, man.
When I watched that moment, that's probably one of the greatest moments in LA history, radio history ever.
Fuck yeah, man. It even, put it like this, bro. Number one, it's never been duplicated.
Right.
It's never, and number two, you got to understand, I was doing stunts on Big Boy's Neighborhood during the Jackass era.
Oh, okay.
So hear me out on this. And I'm going to say this to the world. Ain't nobody doing the shit that I did when I was on radio. We've got a bunch of pussies out there. Pussies. Okay? That they wouldn't even dare do the shit that I was doing on air. Because when I was on air, Jackass was the biggest movie out there. Why would you want to hear me do a stunt when you could just watch Jackass? Mm-hmm. I had to compete with them.
Right.
I had to make sure my stunts were fucking more outrageous than theirs, or not. If not, at least at the same level, where even the Jackass guys are going like, "Oh fuck, this motherfucker's crazy." Mm. You know what I'm saying? So I had to do those kinds of fucking things because now today, I mean, people don't even talk about the Jackass guys.
Right.
So they're getting away with eating mayonnaise in a cup. What the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? That's a stunt on the radio today. Mayonnaise in a cup? Like, what the fuck?
How long did the bruise last?
Oh, bro, those lasted weeks. Fucking months. The motherfucker hand came from top here all the way down. And not only that, I mean, he bled into my skin. He ripped my shit where my shit started bleeding. And he was getting frustrated with me because I kept on telling him, do another one. Come on. Right? His publicist, his manager, they were right there. They're the ones who cut it.
Right.
They're the ones who cut it. They came to him and said, hey, you need to stop. Real shit. But I'm going to say something. He was not, during that time, the reason why we even did that stunt was because The Rock was out of wrestling for, he had been gone for years.
Okay.
And he went into the acting business.
Got you. So
my purpose that day on the show was to try to tell him to come back out of retirement from the WWE. Why the fuck did he headline WrestleMania that fucking year? And I feel like it was us that brought him out of retirement. I'm going to take credit for that one, bro.
I love it. What was the craziest thing that you did on air?
The craziest thing I did on air, I would have to say was the Octomom stunt. The Octomom stunt, I think, is the craziest. Can
you explain that one?
As far as the attention that it got. But I'll tell you, okay, I'll explain that.
Yeah,
But I'll say something that was crazy that I felt that was just like, oh shit, I need to go to a hospital. Okay? Okay, the one that I felt where I'm like, something's wrong and like this is fucking bad. Like this was a stunt gone wrong. I put icy hot on my balls, my dick, and in my ass. All together. Like I rubbed it all in there. Oh, bro. Don't ever no one try that shit at home. Don't ever try that shit. Don't ever do that shit. You will need medical fucking attention, bro. You will need medical fucking attention, and I had to get medical attention, bro.
When you got
I was gonna burn my fucking dick off, bro. My dick was burning off, bro. I felt like it was literally gonna fall off. It's position, dog. And I'm not just saying that. Skin was coming off my balls.
What?
Don't ever put icy hot in your private areas, dog. Do not put icy hot down there.
When you got to the hospital or the emergency room, what did you tell them?
I told them what I did stunts, and I accidentally put icy hot all over my genitals. So they had to give me ice packs. They had to they told me to clean me. I had already done that. By the time I got there, I started cooling down. They gave me some like penicillin or some shit like that.
Oh my god!
They gave me something to like for the burns. It burnt. I burnt basically, bro. I burned like a first layer of skin off.
Oh
yeah,
shit!
I burned like that's what was happening. And they even told me at the hospital. You know what kind of accident you could have caused yourself? If you would have left that on, you would have burned your like secondhand degree burns type shit.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. As soon as I started feeling, I'm like, hey, what the fuck? This is not right. Like, it's like putting a pepper in your eye, and like even if you wash it off, like it's gonna be like it's lingering.
Right.
This shit. Oh man, I can't explain it. But look at. You're asking me what's one of my worst. You would think I've stapled my nuts to my leg.
Shit!
I stapled my nuts to my leg. I've been tased with 100,000 volt to my balls. I have fucking I've done some crazy shit. But the icy hot, I can't explain it to you, bro. The icy hot felt like like my fucking dick was gonna fall off. It fell.
My God.
It was really bad, bro. It was very, very painful. Very, very painful.
Now you said Octomom?
Yeah. The Octomom was just more of a millions and millions of that was. I don't want to go into the whole Octomom story, but it was when I say that it was a nationwide stunt. It was on CNN. It was on HLN. It was on what was that? What was that main? Remember that lady that used to do the main show on CNN, and she used to have all the panels, and she used to talk like this. And this is the man who says, oh man, she was a very, very famous lady. I mean, even on her, it was the biggest fucking show on CNN at that time.
What'd you do? What was the stunt?
It was, they thought that I was the father of all her children, all the 8 children. I still get that to this day. People still think, you know what's so crazy, bro? I get asked that shit more than shit about my career. Are those really your kids with Octomom?
That is crazy.
I swear, but it's because she's so famous, not because I am. She's very famous. So everybody always wants to know, you know, who's the father of all those kids. It's not me, dog. It's
Christine Amanpour. Is that the lady?
No.
Not this woman?
No, that's
okay.
not her.
Okay. So then at some point you end up leaving Power 106. Why?
I got fired.
You got fired?
Yeah, I got fired from Power. There's nothing like getting fired, bro. You don't ever want to leave from a place. You want to get fired. There's some powerful feeling about getting fired. It makes you, you know, it builds your balls.
How long were you there?
10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 10 years at Power.
And now at the time, I know, because I remember, that was the biggest radio station in LA.
Yes. Still is to me.
Okay.
Still is to me. I mean, Power 106 it's the mecca. It's the one everybody wants to be on. You know what I'm saying? I think it, you know, I mean, I don't know. I don't listen enough to say that. It's just everything is so all radio, not just Power 106. All radio don't sound the same anymore.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Again, and if someone says, "Well, you're just old school," well, then I'm old school. Then I guess I'm old school. But it's their time now. Whoever's on the radio, more power to them. A lot of love. I respect anyone who's out there giving their talent to be on the radio. It's not an easy job. You know what I'm saying? And anybody who's out there, it's their time. I'm not here like trying to relive radio moments. I honestly, you know, don't even care to be on the radio like that anymore. You know what I mean? I left it.
Gotcha.
And I've never even have attempted once to try to get back. Never. I've never given an attempt. I've never put in a call. I've never tried any of that. So you know what I'm saying? I stepped away from something that I feel had my time. You know, I had my moment.
Got you. But you did get signed by Rick Dees, right?
Yeah, Rick Dees, Kday. From Power, I went to first and foremost, man. For those who don't know Rick Dees, that's a fucking legend, bro.
Right.
That's a fucking ladies and gentlemen, it's Rick Dees here, and you know that's Rick fucking Dees, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when I was around Rick, I was only with him for a little bit, like a little over a year. And man, I'll tell you something, bro. No matter what, in that year, I learned. I mean, you're with a legend. So even no matter how old our age difference was, if you're a student, you will observe and you will soak in whatever you can from a living legend like that. You know, he has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He's in the Radio Hall of Fame. He's in, you know, Disco Duck, La Bamba. He's the one and only Rick Dees here. It's, you know, 102.7 Kiss FM. Like, you know, that fucking famous voice. There's so much shit that I learned from Rick, even just being with him in that short period of time. But what I love about Rick, and I'll never forget this about Rick, is that he was the first person to call me, you know, and you would think to yourself, like, fuck, it's so crazy. Like, you get fired from a radio station. You don't know what's going to happen. You know, you don't know what's going to happen. I knew that I was talented, and I knew that.
Were you there for 10 years?
I'm going to be all right. Something's going to come. I just didn't know the politics of radio, how it worked, how there's no competition clause. The other station can't really reach out to you for like, a certain amount of time. Another station couldn't reach out. I didn't know all this stuff. So I was just like, man, where are the calls gonna, I thought the calls were gonna fucking be blowing up. But, I had seen somewhere, I don't know, the Miz, I think he was here, or I don't think it was here. I don't want to say that it was when he was here.
He has been in this show.
But him saying about how like radio, when you leave or if you get fired, how excuse me, if you leave or if you get fired, how people change on you. People change on you. Like Ebro, I think it was Ebro and his new show. They're like, it's hard to get guests right now. It's hard, I'll just tell you, like, when you get fired from a radio station, again, I never worked corporate. I had never worked for a company before. I didn't know what it was like to get fired. So, people that you thought were your friends, people you thought were family, they were there for the birth of your kids, fucking barbecues and all kinds of, you can't talk to them no more. You know what I'm saying? And
you can't?
No, it's stupid, bro. It's stupid. That's why, let me tell you something. All these people that are in those fucking corporate buildings that everybody wants to be at, everybody wants to be in these buildings. They're fucking miserable. They're fucking miserable, dog. You think all those fucking people are happy up there working for corporations? They have these shows and they give them and they can't even do what they want on the show. They can't say what they want on the show. Someone has to leave. Someone gets fired. You can't talk to him. You can't talk to him. It becomes just like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So, that's what happened to me when I got fired from Power. Everyone, he's not even allowed in the building. He's not even allowed in the building. So it was just like, fuck. Like, everyone turned their back. Everyone. And when I got a call from Rick D's, that voicemail, one thing I'll never forget, it was an 818 number. And I'll share this with everyone. Rick D's told me later, always answer an 818 call. It's money, David. It's money. 818, it's Burbank, it's Studio City, it's Glendale, it's one of these great area codes right here. It's Tocoluca Lake. It's Rick D's here, and Rick D's wants you, buddy. That was the message. I heard the big guy let you go. Well, listen, there's a place for you right here. It's your good friend Rick D's. And I went and met with Rick. I had a meeting with Kday as well. So Kday reached out to me. There was 2 deals on the table.
Right.
At the time. I ended up working with Kday later. But Kday came to me first during the time with Rick D's, and they offered me, I can talk about this shit. Who cares? It was a show that didn't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? When me coming from Power, I felt like I came from Harvard. Okay? And then they're putting me on with 2 personalities that I didn't know. It was kind of like a takeover type show. It wasn't, I wanted the show to be mine. I wanted to have direction. I wanted to have the lead. I wanted to have control. I wanted to be, there was many questions that I was asking these 2 personalities that they were putting with me. One was from Arizona. One was from Texas. I'm from LA. They were trying to build this new morning show. It didn't feel right to me.
Was that the Tattoo and the Crew show?
No, that was not that show.
Okay.
That was a show. Again, this was Kday that was trying to build this new morning show.
Got you.
So when they're putting these personalities together and they let us off to go have lunch together, I asked a few questions of my own. And I was like, there was these very important questions that I needed to ask of the certain areas of LA. If I said this, what would you say? And they're like, man, Tad, I've never heard of that. I'm saying, you've never heard of that. So these people were telling me about places that they never heard of in LA, and they didn't want to give me the direction, the control, creative control of the show, which I felt that, bro, you let me have creative control of this. Somebody needs to fucking hold the mic down,
right?
And that didn't happen that way. So when it didn't go that way, and then I was still going to work out on the show. I just said, I don't care about this shit if it goes out. I said, I want to get paid more money than them. These 2 other personalities that you're bringing, I want to make more money than I want to see it on paper that I make more money than. We can't do that. We're going to pay you guys all equal. I was out. I was done. I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to do this. And they thought I was going to, they thought I was desperate. Kday at the time was like, no, don't walk out of here, man. We already almost have everything signed. And they wanted us to pop on that night together to practice and go on live together. I walked out of there, bro. That's on everything on my kid's life. I walked out of there. I called Rick Dees and he said, come on over here. There's a position for you. It was the easiest money I made. I was writing, helping write for him, had my own little show thing going on there. And then later, Kday came back. And that was with AD Scott, who to me to this day was the best program director in radio. The best.
Got you.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest question is, and you don't have to share, but everybody wants to know, why did Tattoo get fired? You were there for 10 years.
I'm gonna save that for my show.
I figured that's what it was.
I'm gonna save that for my show. And I know. You know what's so crazy about that, AD, is that's why I'm gonna save it for my show. Because there's people out there that think nobody cares about that, Tat. And you're saving this question for like one of the last ones. You could have asked that question early, but you're obviously you're saving this question. It's a good question for last because it's a good question. Mm-hmm. And it's something that will cliffhang people like, fuck, why did Tattoo get fired? It's a long story. And the people that were involved there in the termination of Tattoo, it doesn't even matter because I went on to do great things after that. And I don't think that I would be in the position that I'm in if I would have stayed at Power anyway. Look at all the people when I was there at Power and I got fired. They all got fired right after me too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Karma's a motherfucker. And I'm not saying that it was because of certain, you know what I'm saying? But it was just like after I got terminated from Power, it just seemed like bing, bing, bing. Like the whole ship started going down.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of those people that went down in that ship haven't found their way back even up out the motherfucking ocean.
Got you.
And they were talking all this shit about me. Turned their backs on me. Didn't fucking answer a call. Nothing like that. They didn't even care to say, hey, dude, are you okay? Just your heart alone, your feelings. You worked here for 10 fucking years. You gave us your balls. You let us tase you. You let us beat you. You let us fucking humiliate you. You let us put you this every corner to fucking tickets and this. Man, Tattoo gave his motherfucking soul to that. It's not their fault. It's my fault for giving so much because I'm like, this is going to be my life. Man, I lost my family. I got divorced. I lost my kids. I lost my house. I lost everything. Giving my life to this career. That's why, bro, I'm about to take it back. I'm going to do my shit now, my way. And, you start realizing like these corporate people, it's not like, it's just something where what I'm going to be doing with my podcast and my show that's coming, whether people like it or not, AD, they're going to have to watch it and they will watch it and they're going to realize, man, we fucked up. Like, we fucked up right here, man. Because this motherfucker is a motherfucking, he's the man, And
Absolutely.
now you don't need these, big platforms anymore. You just need to have your own platform, but you need to know what the fuck you're doing,
So now you're working for the Kday deal comes back around. And did you accept the deal?
Yeah, because it was a deal given to me the way I wanted it.
Okay.
It was given to me the way I wanted it. Mm-hmm. And that's look at, man, that's the almighty. And that's talent. AD Scott was the program director at the time. Shout out to my dude AD. And that's why I'll tell anybody, life lesson in radio, in entertainment, in career, in work, don't burn bridges. Don't burn bridges. This is a man that was hiring me to work at Kday. I turned down the show that they were putting together, and I went to go work for Rick Dees instead. Mm-hmm. I was in the Kday office with these two personalities, being given a morning radio show, and I said, hey, man, I'm good. I'm going to have to pass on this. They were holding the door. Tat, don't, man. I already talked to the GM, man. I told him you're going to take this. I said, well, you shouldn't have told him that. And he was like, why, man? Is there you got another position? I'm like, yeah, I got another position. And I'm going to take it, bro. You're not giving it to me the way I want. I told you I want this to be the tattoo show, and I need to have first control. Hey, good morning. This is your friend Tattoo alongside with that. I need to have that. And I need to be the one that says, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow. Give me that. I need that and I need that. And they weren't giving me that. So I went and worked for Rick. So when this deal came back around, it was another great day in my life.
How long did it
I'll tell you,
okay.
you know what? It took about a year and a little bit of change. Okay. So I'm not fucking around, man. It was like right after the Rick D's thing ended for me. I was driving and I ain't fucking around, man. I remember like thinking, I was thinking really hard that day. Like, man, what the fuck happened? Like, I really thought that, it was gonna, people, when you get fired, brother, you that's what I'm saying. You better not burn bridges, because this radio world is a handful. Everyone knows each other. Don't fuck up here, because that boss here might end up the boss here. And that's the program director who has to hire you.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you walk away from something, man, you shake hands and you say, hey, man, I apologize. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, I hope you can understand that I'm doing this on, you know what I'm saying? This is for my life.
Right.
It's not, don't bring your ego and I'm bigger than it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to end up, you're going to be gone too. All those motherfuckers that talk like that. That think like that. They're already writing. They're already hanging themselves. I said goodbye respectfully. I went and worked with Rick. I get a phone call. It's the summertime. I get a phone call from AD Scott, the greatest program director in radio, who kept Kday to what it is today. Without that man, Kday would not. That radio station was, every time when I was with Kday, it was always gonna flip. It was gonna change into a new station. They're gonna sell. They're gonna now. And this was the small station. Power 106 was the big hip hop station. Kday's the little baby station. The owners of Kday now own Power 106. The Morello brothers. So the big station got bought by the little station. And now these big old motherfuckers over there, they're the slaves now too. Now they're working for the motherfuckers that they thought they used to talk shit about. They used to talk shit about Kday. They used to talk shit about all the personalities at Kday. Now they work for Kday. Now they work for Kday. How fucking stupid are you motherfuckers? Okay? So with that being said, AD, who I really feel, man, deserves the true Kday credit. He was not only the program director, he was the music director. He was the one who hired the DJs. He was the one who hired the personalities. He had a young fucking director. I didn't know what I had at the time. I didn't know I had such a fucking badass program director. See, I wanted to come on Kday and I was angry. I was still angry at the time at Power.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to come on and fucking fire at these motherfuckers. And that, AD was always like, what you're good. You're here. Right? Like, you don't need to fucking do this. You don't need to fire at them like that. But every now and then AD would be like, hey, you know what? Fuck these motherfuckers. Get these motherfuckers, right? He would jump on board.
Right.
So we were like in this mission together. So AD called me it was a summer. And it was one summer, and he just called me and said, hey, what are you doing tonight? And I said, nothing. He goes, nah, you're hosting Crush Groove. You're hosting our annual concert. And that's Kday's big annual concert, Crush Groove, right?
Okay.
I'm in my car, and I had a lot of shit going in my head, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? Say that again, AD? He goes, get ready. Be at it was at the Nokia Theater. Be at the Nokia Theater by fucking 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, some shit like that. He goes, you're hosting Crush Groove.
Just like
that. And now you got to understand radio talk. He's the program director of Kday, asking Tattoo to host Crush Groove, their big summer annual concert. That's it. I got my morning show. For sure it's coming. That was his way of saying, hey, come in here. We're going to negotiate something before you even get on stage. So I knew it. So I fucking get ready. I go down there, and that's when I first met CC, who's still on Kday to this day. CC Valencia. And he goes, you're going to host Crush Groove. This is CC. You're going to host it with her. So me and CC met for the first time right there.
Mm-hmm.
And AD says, man, This a power fucking couple right here. This a power couple right here. We're over here hugging and first time meeting and hey, you know, blah, blah, blah. We're going back and forth. You ready to do this? Nah, nah, nah. I'll do this. I'll do that. And he goes, if you guys want, you guys can announce you're the new morning show too.
Damn.
It's up to y'all. It's up to y'all. If y'all want it, you know, tattooing CC in the mornings. And I said, fuck, AD, are you fucking serious? And he's like, I'm fucking serious. What do you? And then CC was excited. She was coming in from Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? She was coming in from Vegas. I'm coming in. I'm out of a job. Right at that time, I'm only doing Golden Boy because remember, at Golden Boy Promotions, I'm still working for Golden Boy during all of this time. Okay, so let's not leave that out because Golden Boy was a big part of my life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm, you know, hosting for Golden Boy, but I haven't been on radio. CC's coming from Vegas, and we said, fuck it, let's do it. Let's announce that so we came out, we host Crush Groove, and that was our first time announcing that we were the new morning show. And I'll be honest, man, the reaction of the crowd was incredible. It wasn't some shit where both of us realized who we were. Like, these motherfuckers know who the fuck we are. This is a beautiful thing for Kday. And that's it. We went on and we fucking destroyed it at Kday. We started mornings together, and man, that was a hell of a run at Kday.
How long were you there?
We were there for like 3-4 years.
As far as, because I know Power was big at the time. Were y'all competing for that?
Oh, yeah. And we were fucking hitting them, bro. We were hitting them. We were tumbling the stations over there, bro.
Got you.
Definitely making noise.
Got
you.
you.
AD, see, the problem with AD, and I don't care, AD knows this shit, man. AD always took credit for when we have, you know, back then with our shares, you know, you had to get, you know, certain shares to know, you know, you're crushing it, you know. Kday always had a low share because it was like the signal was bad. It was, you know, it was a small station, bro. You know? Once me and CC started going in and doing the morning show together, those shares started fucking going up. You know what I'm saying? And they were at numbers sometimes that we were like, no fucking way we're hitting these kinds of shares on such a small station. But AD would say, it's the music. It's the music. You know? It's the music. It's the music. He was the music director. So we were all fighting for, you know, but at the end of the day, we all know it was a team thing, man. We were just all young and hungry and you know, very prideful, you know? But we know it was a team thing. It was a fucking great time there at Kday. I had a fucking blast working at Kday, man. You know?
What made you want to leave?
I started becoming unhappy. You know, when I get unhappy, AD, I'm out. I'm done. You know, I know I'll always be good in life. You know, I know what it's like to sell candy. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I'm good, brother. I can sell candy out of my backpack. I can sell anything, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you're not going to hold me anywhere and take my integrity, take, you know, my morals, take who I am, disrespect me, my dignity. I'm not going to let that happen anywhere. Anywhere. That's not happening. And that's why I have such a strong personality. I'm authentic. I just got to a point at Kday where I'll admit, I should have stuck around a little longer. I should have stuck around a little longer at Kday because I think I exited at the wrong time. I was just, I don't know. I was tired. I kept at the time again, you realize these things when you're older, later in life, you realize how great certain people were, mentors, friends, bosses, the respect that, we were just young. And I was still angry, and I still had a lot of shit on my mind that wasn't closed off. And I took it out on the program where me and AD would fight all the time. I was arguing about so much shit at the station. I started becoming unhappy, and I started saying things on air that were definitely like, fire his ass. You cannot say this stuff. So I started getting reckless. You know what I'm saying, on the microphone. And I don't know. I just wanted out. I just wanted to, I did, bro. That's how I got out of things. I always find a way to get myself in a situation.
Gotcha.
So how did you end up with Golden Boy Promotions?
With Golden Boy, that's a great one, man. I just met De La Hoya through Big Boy. Of course, we were on the morning show with Power 106. So being on the morning show at Power, same thing with Cube. You know, they would come into the radio station. Not everybody, you know, you make friends with, but there were certain guys that, you know, drew to you, change numbers, shit like that, emails. You start building a relationship. But being around Oscar was the first one to say, "Hey, bro, fucking, you should come fucking host a weigh-in or something, bro. Fucking, you know." And I was like, "Oh, like, okay, I would love to do that, you know." And it was like, "Well, what do you want me to do?" I don't know, bro. I just like your voice. Maybe fucking announce and throw out some fucking shirts, some gloves, and fucking, it'll be fucking chingon, bro. Come on, let's. That's how it started. That's how it started, you know, with De La Hoya, just being out there, voicing shit, throwing out shit. And then it became like, can you host a weigh-in? Like, can you bring the fighters to the scales? Then that started getting more professional. You know, I'm a pro, bro.
Right.
You know, and then it became, can you do the press conferences? And then it became, can you do the actual fight? You know, this position at Golden Boy was created. There was nobody doing what I was doing at these events. No, nobody. I know there's hype men, I know there's MCs and shit like that, but not how I was doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was fucking entertaining the crowd when a fight would end in the first, second round, and then another fight. You know what I'm saying? It takes another 45 minutes to get to the next fight. That's a lot of time between a fight and to the next fight. So, you know, I just had to create like a character that was going to be entertaining, get fans involved, get fighters to do interviews, things like that. Like, I started like building this position. And then from there, it just led to, let's send him to New York. Let's send him to Vegas. Let's send him and then I started traveling with the company, starting to do all this stuff. And,
Right.
and eventually, to be honest with you, trip out on this, man. I'll give you a good fucking story to let you know how political this shit gets. Okay? Listen to this. Listen to this. You want a good one? I'm going to give you a good one.
Let's go.
Let me come out the motherfucking vault, okay? When I got fired from Power, Golden Boy was my biggest sponsor. And that, I cared more about losing Golden Boy than Power. Listen, I'll say that again. I cared more about losing Golden Boy than Power. Fuck Power at that time. I didn't fuck them. That's how I felt. That's how I felt, for real. The shit that I got terminated for, fuck them. Fuck them for what I got terminated for. It was a lie. It was bullshit. It was white. It was brown. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. I get into the fucking details. You guys are going to be like, man, who was in that room?
Right.
Who was in that room? You know, and there's 3 sides to every story. Mine, his, and the truth. Right? So I'll just leave it at that. And I don't want to go in there and start, when the guy's not here, that at the end of the day, you know, the guy's a piece of shit anyway. Doesn't even matter. He's not even in the radio business anymore. See what I'm saying? All this shit. So I didn't want to lose Golden Boy. Okay? That was my bread and butter. And it wasn't even about, I just fucking loved working in the boxing business. And I was building something with them. So when I got fired from Power, I called Raul Jaimes, who was the president of Golden Boy at the time. I called Raul Jaimes and I said, "Hey, Raul, I got bad news, dog. I got fired from Power. And most likely you're going to get a call from them today. And they're going to tell you not to fuck with me. They're going to tell you all this great shit. And truthfully, bro, from the bottom of my heart, on my kid's life, this shit happened." See, the thing about me, AD, is everything that I'm saying, there's the authenticity of what I do. Raul Jaimes will know that if he sees this and someone sends him this piece on the pod, he's not gonna be able to deny this shit. I leave my stories 100% factual, where the other person can't even fucking comment on them because how factual my shit is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I told Raul Jaimes, it's probably best that you guys, you know, there's nothing I can do for you guys. I was hurt. I was hurt about this. But I told him, I can't give you guys anything. I'm not on the radio. I don't have no power. I can't do no mentions. I said, so, and Raul was like, fuck that. You're our guy. I don't care about no radio shit. I don't care about none of that. No, I had a show to host on we were doing Thursday night fights at the Belasco, Thursday night fights at Club Nokia. So Oscar was putting on these cool fights at the LA Live Club Nokia, and I used to host them. So we had an event coming up this Thursday. That Thursday that was coming up, okay? And I said, he's like, no, you need to be here on Thursday, Tat. I don't care what anybody says. No one's gonna make us drop our deal. Trip out on this. No one's gonna tell us to drop our deal with you. That's our company. We do what we gotta do. Fuck that, Tat. Don't worry about nothing. And I'm like, all right, cool. All right, cool. He calls me the next day. And this is the Wednesday now, before the Thursday.
Got you.
And he tells me, hey, Tat, yeah, I think we're gonna have to let it go. Right? And I go, what happened? I said, it's all good, Raul. It's okay. I said, well, what happened? What happened? Trip out. He goes, you were right, Tat. You were right. They're telling us not to fuck with you, you know? But they're gonna give us a lot more for our buck. I said, what are they giving you? What are they giving you? He goes, they're gonna give us a power vehicle. They're gonna give us more mentions, and they're gonna give us Luscious Liz to come and host what you were hosting. I said, oh yeah? I said, remember who gave that to you on their termination. Remember how it's coming to you guys. I said, take it, bro. Fuck yeah. I told that to Raul. I said, fuck yeah, bro. They're gonna give you a vehicle. They're gonna give you more mentions. And Liz, the morning show, she's gonna have to talk about your shit. Fuck yeah, bro. Take that shit. But remember that it comes, that's what they gotta do for you to let me go.
Right.
To let me go, this little fucking Mexican guy, right? This lucky little Mexican. That's what you guys are getting. That's my goodbye gift to you guys.
That's dope.
That's my goodbye gift to you guys. And he was like, Tad, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. You'll always be, you need tickets. And no, I don't need no tickets. Trip out. I knew it was going to fucking sink. I knew it. Liz don't know a fucking lick about boxing. She hated going out at those times in the evening. I already knew, like, she's gonna hate this shit. I loved it. She's gonna hate it. Sure enough, man. Her first event she did, I get a call the next day. It's Raul Jaimes and said, ladies and gentlemen, coming back to the Club Nokia to host the fights. Tattoo, right? And I said, shut up. Don't fuck with me like that. And he goes, you're back, baby. You're back. We're canceling all our subscription with Power.
Damn.
We said, we're canceling everything with them. We don't want to deal with them no more. We're going to go to other radio stations, but you better prove yourself, baby. Oscar walked into the fucking Club Nokia and said, what the fuck is going on in here? And Oscar didn't know what was going on. Big love to De La Hoya. Big love to Golden Boy for this. Oscar walked in and said, where the fuck is my guy? Where's Tattoo at? This is some bullshit. Who the fuck is this? That's Luscious Liz. And De La Hoya was like, hey, man, bring back Tat. I don't give a fuck what it takes. Bring him back. So not only did I come back, they pay me more money. I got more money out of it. I come back and they said, your first show, Tat, prove that you're the man. Shout out to Too Short and shout out to Baby Bash. Because I called both of my dogs and I told them, hey, can you guys come to the Club Nokia and perform one song? Short, hell yeah, I got you. Baby Bash, I got you. So that first fight that I came back, I had these dudes fucking performing at the Club Nokia, sold out fucking crowd, and that was it. That was it. From there on, they fucking made me like creative director of Golden Boy Promotions. And I started fucking booking and started doing all this great shit for the company, from their merchandise to, I was like the liver of that company, bro. I did so much. I'm not hear what I said. I didn't say the heart or the brain. I said I was the liver. That's an important piece of your body, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can live without it, but you'll never be the same if it's an implant. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need that liver.
You need a liver.
So you know, so that my time with Golden Boy, again, you come in for one thing and you leave, you know, leaving your mark in the company forever. They'll never forget me at Golden Boy, no matter what, because I brought things to that company that are still there, that have my name attached to it from the moment it started. Period. You know?
Now, during your time covering boxing, you developed a relationship with Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
That's going on tour with him with the Mayweather Canelo tour. When they went and had their fight, I was the host. So I got to do 3-week, 4-week tour with them all over the country, private jets, announcing we were from city to city to city promoting this fight. You know what I'm saying? So, and also too, I was like the first person to ever interview Canelo here in the States. He was 17, 18 years old. He was the undercard on one of like Sugar Shane Mosley's fights. And nobody wanted to interview him. Monica Sears, who was at Golden Boy Promotions, she was like the PR. I speak Spanish, so Canelo. There's all these fighters. Canelo's just standing there in line, like waiting to be interviewed. Nobody would interview him.
And at that time, he only spoke Spanish.
He only spoke Spanish, man. I mean, I'm talking about he was young, and I was telling everybody about this kid. I always saw the talent in Canelo. Always. I could tell you a great fighter like that, bro. And I could tell from his legs, his back, his size. I'm like, he's going to be good. This dude's going to be good. So I went to Canelo and I would do all his first interviews. And, honestly, man, I remember telling Canelo, don't ever forget these moments in your career. You always remember the guy who did your first interviews, man. Oh, he done forgot about me. Like, he don't give up. No, we're still cool, bro. We're still very cool.
When he fought Mayweather, who'd you think was going to win?
Be honest with you, bro.
Because I know you're a fight
That's a
fanatic.
tough one. That's a tough one, but Mayweather, bro. I was Team Mayweather on that. I just got to be honest about that, And I got to be honest about this, too. Mayweather was so good to me, bro.
Whoo, was he?
Mayweather was so good to me. No, I'm not talking about just his fighting skills. I'm talking about how good he was to me.
Oh, okay.
He treated me, he treated me, I don't want to say like better than Canelo, because that's not the right thing to say. Like, Canelo was good to me. But there was just something about my relationship with Floyd. I did all his fights, bro. People don't understand that.
So you became the fight guy.
I became the fight. I did all his fights. I would go on tour with him. I'd be at the gym with him. He's kept me before when he started doing his clothing line and I was working the boxing shit. He would say, hey, man, I have a clothing convention for the next 3 days. It's during the week. Can you stay and host the convention? You know what I'm saying? And I would, hey, Floyd, I'm booked to go back home. I only have enough clothes for the time that I stayed. Motherfucker reached into his bag, pulled out 10 racks. Here, go buy some clothes, get a hotel, if you could stay. Shit, I only spent like fucking $500 of that shit. No bullshit. That's how he was. And he treated me really, really well. And his team treated me very well. Mayweather Promotions was very, very good to me. Personal vendettas, personal bullshit in boxing promotion companies, that's not my thing.
Right.
I'm the hype guy. I'm the fucking one that makes everybody happy. I'm the one who entertains people. Oscar used to even tell me, Oscar was never a hater. The only reason why I know Floyd is because of Oscar.
Right.
So he's seen my relationship growing with Floyd. And Oscar used to tell me all the time, hey, keep your shit good like that with Floyd, bro. Stay good with Floyd, bro. You're one of the reasons why he fucking fucks with us. And honestly, bro, that dude he's nothing like what you see on TV. And I'll tell you that. He's a cool fucking dude, bro. Cool, respect, very, very, very respectful. At some point, look at Canelo's just living the life that Floyd had at one time too. He's still there. He's still under the lights. He's still getting paid the big money.
Right.
So like we're watching Canelo become rich as shit. And everyone has their moment when they get too rich, bro. It just happens. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who you are. Everyone's gonna have their rich moments if you're getting 500 million and 200 million. And, you know what I'm saying? So at the time, I just feel like, I don't know, man. Floyd was a cool dude. They treated me very, very well. I know how talented Floyd was, and I was able to see these guys in training camps. I was there for the moment, from the tour all the way up to the fight. I hosted the weigh-in to the biggest fight in the world, Canelo versus Mayweather in Vegas. I hosted the fights. I mean, that was the greatest tour fight I've ever done in my life, was Mayweather Canelo. It fucking, not only because of how big that platform was, how big that fight was, but it built me. It made me a better reporter. It made me a better journalist. It made me a better announcer. I had to be on point. You're fucking with the big dogs right here.
Right.
You're on that fucking stage with Richard Schaefer, De La Hoya, Canelo, Mayweather, Cali Swanson. You're with the, bro, you better fucking bring it. You better fucking bring it. And I brought it.
I remember that fight. Canelo had a hard time hitting Floyd.
Yes.
He was frustrated.
I can see in the training. I can tell in the training that Mayweather was going to win. You know what I'm saying? I can tell just in training. See, I can see these things. I can tell you when I could see someone training, bro, he better step up. It was starting to become like time, and time was coming where I'm like, Canelo looks slow. That's what I was seeing the difference of.
Right.
In the training process, I was noticing that Canelo looked slow. And Mayweather was just like, wow. He was getting ready for the fight of his life.
Right.
And I can see Canelo was struggling to make weight and the speed and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I got Mayweather on this one, man. And Mayweather, sure enough, bro.
What was the best fight that you saw live?
That's a great question. De La Hoya versus Mayweather. De La Hoya versus Mayweather. At the MGM.
Did that one go the distance?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes, it did. And I actually think Oscar beat him in that fight.
Oh, you think Oscar won?
Oscar won that fight. I got Oscar winning that fight. You go back.
We got to sit down and watch that one together.
You go back and watch that fight. I gave 9 rounds to De La Hoya. I gave 9 rounds to De La Hoya. Even his own father, Floyd Mayweather Sr., said, Oscar beat my son. You know, Floyd Sr. was De La Hoya's trainer for that fight.
Oh, he was.
But he turned down the money. He was his trainer for 3 years prior to that fight. They had won world championships together. That was Oscar's best trainer he ever had in his career, was Floyd Sr. When the Floyd Jr. fight came, Floyd said, I can't train you to fight my son. And Oscar offered him big money, bro. Go look at the history of this. Oscar offered him big money, and Floyd Sr. said, I don't care how much money you offer me. I cannot train you to fight my son. So that's when Oscar went with Freddie Roach.
Oh, okay.
Now, okay. Oscar did good with Freddie, but Oscar would have hands down gotten that win if Floyd was in his corner. For sure, because Floyd had the little tools that Freddie didn't, that would have helped them visually for judges win the fight.
Right.
He knows the visual side. Freddie didn't have that connection with Oscar to give the judges the visual they need to give Oscar the fucking points. But that fight was fucking close. Only one judge had it over like by a few points for Mayweather. And here's the thing. I don't know if you've seen Oscar even talk about this. They had a rematch clause. For 1 year. De La Hoya versus Mayweather had the rematch clause, and that's the year that Floyd Mayweather decided to retire from boxing. He retired from boxing for 1 year and 1 day, then came back. So that contract.
Damn.
So what do you think about that?
I never knew that.
Yes. They had a contract clause to rematch for 1 year. That clause. Floyd goes after the fight, starts crying and saying, I'm retiring from boxing after the De La Hoya fight. Go back and look at this. I was there for that. I was at the press conference. Floyd's asking for tissue. He's crying. He's like, this is the greatest fight that I've accomplished, and I'm retiring from the sport. He retired for 1 year and 1 day and came back. And so that the claw of the rematch never happened. That's why Mayweather never rematched De La Hoya.
Now, so I asked you what was the best fight you ever saw? And you shared that.
Yeah, there's been some other great ones though, bro. But
what's the greatest fight of all time?
Ooh. The greatest fight of all time, huh? You know, I never got to watch this fight live, but I love watching it on video. I love watching it anytime it's on. I even love watching the movie part of it, but I'll tell you too, because this fight for me as a boxing guru, as a lover of the sport, somebody who studies it, loves it, there's nothing like watching Ali versus George Foreman. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The Rumble in the Jungle. When Ali versus George Foreman. George Foreman was the most feared. I mean, come on, bro. They even made a movie out of it with Will Smith. That is, to me, the greatest boxing fight because of the odds and the challenge that it was for Ali to beat a man like George Foreman, who was undefeated, who was the most feared man, who was knocking everyone out. And Ali is past his prime. He's in Africa. He's going through so much mental shit. You know, the rain, the pour. There was so much shit that went with that fight. It's not just the greatest fight. It's a beautiful fight. There's something artistic about it. There's something beautiful about it. That fight could bring you to tears if you watch it by yourself, if you watch it with someone, if you watch it the right way. That's a very emotional fight to watch. Ali versus George Foreman. But as far as I'll give you another great fight too that I think that I was able to watch live is Bernard Hopkins versus Felix Tito Trinidad.
Ah, come on, man. I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah, that fight to me is perfection. You want to watch a perfect execution from round 1 to round 12 where it took 12 rounds for Bernard to knock out Trinidad. We're talking about 9/11, the first, not only boxing fight, the first sporting event after the tragic fall of the Twin Towers in New York, Madison Square Garden. It was so patriotic. It was so, you felt blood rushing from your feet to your head watching this fight with Trinidad, the way Trinidad came in with the police uniform thing on. Bernard came in with the American flag and the mask, and he tells Trinidad, like, you know what I mean? This execution shit. Bernard was past his prime. He's 36 years old. Trinidad's undefeated. He's this young fucking killer Puerto Rican. He's going to destroy Bernard Hopkins. It was the tournament of the middleweights. It was 4 guys. It was William Joppy, Trinidad, Bernard Hopkins, and Keith Holmes that were in this. Trip out on this, man. It was like a middleweight competition that they were doing for the trophy. And of course, the winner's going to get all the undisputed belts. So the last 2 that were left, it was Joppy versus Trinidad and Keith Holmes versus Bernard. Bernard beats Holmes. Joppy loses to Trinidad. Now you got Trinidad versus Bernard fighting it out for all the belts for this monster trophy. And of course, they had Trinidad's name already written on that trophy. No bullshit. They had Trinidad. This is a true story coming from my dearest friend, my mentor, my brother from a whole other life, Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins has been my friend for almost 30 years now. 30 fucking years I almost have with
You introduced me to him.
He's the greatest guy on earth. And people would think you and Bernard, yeah, me and Bernard are like, we fight, we love, we hug, we always hug it out like brothers. You know what I'm saying? But Bernard, that's the first time I ever met Bernard Hopkins, and when I really realized, like, damn, I'm doing some shit on this radio, was the week of him beating Trinidad. He beat him on a Saturday. He was supposed to do the morning show on Monday, and the reason why he missed the morning show, and I remember at the time Bernard wasn't famous enough, but I remember Big getting a little upset. Jason, the producer, they got a little bit upset, and they were like, "Who the fuck this guy think he is? He didn't show up." Bernard Hopkins called the radio station and said, "Hey, man, I'm really sorry that I did not show up to this interview. Some real political things went down. If you guys allow me to come back, I will be there tomorrow." So they did. I wanted to meet him really bad. And Big Boy at this time, I'm fresh in the radio business. So I know Big was doing a lot of little things to impress me, to make me excited. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm fresh. I'm a fresh voice, a fresh meat. So he was like, well, okay. And Jason was like, nah, no, we're not going to allow him back. And Big was like, come on, man, let's give him another shot. He says that it's a real valid excuse why he didn't come, but he'll only share it when he comes to the show. So Bernard comes in on a Wednesday instead of a Monday. And he comes with, and he says, the reason why I couldn't make it on the Monday to your show was because they had Trinidad's name on the trophy. And I was not leaving New York without my trophy.
I heard that.
I made them change the name on the trophy and put Bernard Hopkins on it. They said they were going to send it to me. Nah, fuck that. You do it right there and you give me my trophy, man. Bernard was rough back then. Bernard was rough back then. Bernard is the first person to ever take me to a boxing fight, introduce me to De La Hoya. He put my ass right there. See, it's crazy, man, because certain people know what it is, too. Bernard knew even back then, like, this motherfucker's is
special.
Cold.
Yeah,
he's cold.
Special.
So what am I doing hanging out with Bernard, hanging out with him at the, MGM, getting fitted for suits and getting ready to, get out there in his world when he was just starting getting his fucking titles and getting this new level of respect because he beat Trinidad. And that fight, I would say it's the greatest fight I've ever witnessed live with my own eyes because the execution of it. Bernard was over the hill, supposedly. He was 36 years old. That's old in boxing.
Right.
He was fighting an undefeated Trinidad. He's fighting in New York with the Trade Center. Puerto Rican crowd is killing him. That's when Bernard got the Puerto Rican flag and threw it down and stepped on it. I don't know if you remember that. I'm sorry. But that happened. That really happened. He was fucking being mobbed but he was going to get killed for doing that. And then Bernard was known for dirty fighting, roughing, headbutting, elbows. He fought so perfect that you couldn't even tell him give him a single warning. He never even got a warning in that fight. He fought so perfect, so elevated, and he destroys fucking Trinidad from round 1 all the way to round 12 to not even get the decision to knock his ass out. And knock him out, bro. He couldn't even get back up. This fucking Trinidad was all over the place. And that, to me, is a glorious victory, bro. And to know him and to hear that story firsthand from his fucking mouth, bro, my life is fucking great, man.
One of my favorite fights, and it's actually Trinidad was in it, but it was just because it was so exciting. Trinidad versus Fernando Vargas.
Oh my God.
Was that a war?
Oh my God.
Because I knew Vargas because he used to lift weights in Venice Beach at Gold's Gym. So I would see him all the time. Really, really nice guy. And when I seen him in that fight, he came ready.
Yes.
He came ready,
hey, man,
both of them were.
Yes, you got to give Fernando a lot of respect on that one.
Hell yeah.
Because he went all the way to the end.
Right.
And he got knocked down 2 times in the first round.
Right.
Where everyone thought this is over. First round knock. Even Trinidad was celebrating in the corner, getting on top of the ropes,
right,
putting his hands up already. And he looked back like, this motherfucker's getting up. Go back and look at that. Where Trinidad even looks back like, oh shit. And he never went down again till the last round.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that fight right there, speaking of that fight.
But remember, Trinidad went down too.
Yes, Trinidad went down in the 7th round.
Right.
You know, so it was looking like Vargas was
right.
And hear me out on this. Trinidad, and if you ever talk, I can get Fernando on. We'll get Fernando on right here. We'd love for you guys to interview Fernando Vargas.
Okay.
A good friend of mine.
Okay.
Brother, man. He was being low blowed a lot. Trinidad low blowed Fernando Vargas so many times that he was even pissing blood.
Wow.
So if you go back and look at that fight, look at how many times he low blows Fernando, where Fernando's even like, oh, fuck. Like, it took a lot. Those low blows took a lot out of him. So for him to finish that fight and go through that shit, man, Fernando says, if he didn't low blow me like that, chingon, I would have fucking got his ass. Those low blows took a lot out of me. And speaking of that fight, what's so crazy, that what's going to trickle back to one of the first questions ever asked. That night of that fight, how old was I? 19 years old. What date is that? Look back at the dates, okay? We're going to do the math. I was out on bond, and that's the day that the bail, I got picked up by, I jumped bail.
Okay.
So the bounty hunters came for me that day of that fight. They found me at my sister's house watching. I was not even in the middle of that fight when I thought it was my sister at the door. I opened the door and it was the fucking bounty hunters for the situation with my dad.
Wow.
So the night of the Trinidad Vargas fight. Trinidad Vargas, I was watching it at my sister's house. Someone called, said that I was there. You know what I mean? I know who it is. I know who did it. You know, it's all good. Turned me in for the incident with my father.
Right.
And I got picked up watching that fight. So I'm sitting in a jail cell, and now by the time I got to the jail cell, they were like getting down to like one of the last rounds, and they were watching it inside of the police station.
Right.
And I was like, fuck! Fuck! You know, that's the worst, is to get picked up by bounty hunters when you're watching it in the middle of a fight.
Right.
Yeah. So
right.
that was that night. That was that night.
That's crazy.
Crazy, man.
Shit. And now you're with the Big Three?
Yeah. Big Three is back for season 9. It's the 9th wonder of the summer.
And you're the announcer.
I'm the announcer, the voice, the host. May 7th, we're going to be at the Fountain Blue for the Big Three Combine, Big Three Draft. It's going to be good, bro. We got a lot of players that are going to try to make their way into the Big Three lottery and see if their life can change this season, man. But overall, yes, it's been an incredible experience working with Big Three, brother.
Okay. And how long have you known Ice Cube?
I've known Cube now, it's been about 20 years. 20 years. Working with him now for 9. But again, it's all radio stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just meeting him through, not everybody becomes your friend, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't want people to think you get into radio and everybody starts becoming your friend. It's not like that. There's just certain people that, you know, you click with.
Right.
Cube was, you know, it's not like we clicked, but we stood in touch. And then the stuff with Golden Boy, I brought Cube to a fight. And that's how he got to see what I do. You know, Cube knows I do radio.
Right.
He's always known that. He met me through Big and the morning show, but he didn't know I went and hyped up crowds and you know, can turn a whole 25,000 people, getting them screaming and cheering and hollering and having a good time. When he came to the Canelo Triple G fight, he accepted the invitation. He had a good time, but I had to work. So he got to see me out there at the fight doing what I do and said, hey, man, I got this shit I'm working on. It's called the Big Three. And that's how the Big Three came into my life.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then he hadn't even created it yet. It was just like an idea. And he was telling me about it. And then as soon as it came a few months later, like the next year, he put me on board, had me host the draft. And that's how it all started, bro. And now it's 9 seasons in, man. And we're crushing, bro.
You've been there since the beginning.
Since the beginning, yeah. Since day one. And it's doing very well. So May 7th, guys. May 7th on YouTube, Big3.com, the Big Three Draft, the Big Three Combine, Vegas. And you never know who's going to make the team, man. You know, we got cities behind us now. And I'm rooting for LA, brother.
I love it.
Yeah.
You have one hell of a journey.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And it's still going.
Yes.
It's still so much more in the tank.
Absolutely, man. We do. We have a lot going on right now.
So we know you're starting a podcast.
Yes,
so
yes.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah. You know what? It's more of a. It's not just a podcast, man. It's a whole unit. You know, NSS 24/7, nonstop sports 24/7. You know,
24/7.
Nonstop sports 24/7. You're gonna get guests, you're gonna get giveaways, you're gonna get highlights, you're gonna get talk, you're gonna get personalities, you're gonna get people from all over, and raw and uncut 24/7 sports. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that it's a good lane for me to go in because my career drifted from Power 106, hip hop radio, Kday. I don't even listen to fucking hip hop anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know who the fuck is on the radio right now. So, you know, my life literally, and I've always been into sports, AD. It's always been my thing. My life went from being discovered to be on the radio to sports people being like, man, I think he's a sports guy. Let's bring him to Golden Boy. Let's bring him to Big Three.
Right.
He's crushing it. So it makes sense for me to go in this lane. And I have 2 podcasts that I'm working on. Of course, NSS 24/7, Nonstop Sports 24/7. It's going to be giving you your sports, you know, 24/7 around the clock. But that is going to lead into my Tattoos Mind podcast. And I know that's the one that a lot of people really want. My opinion on things, my take on the world, my stories, my vault. You know, like you just said right now, bro, like it's been a hell of a journey. People want to hear the details of this incredible journey. People want to know the stories behind the stories. And I'm going to give it to them. I just think that you got to let me build to get there. I don't think it's something that I should just come off with right off the top and start telling these stories about my life. And, you know, let me start nice and easy. And give you guys some really fucking good sports, a really good sports program. I think that sports is missing Latinos in the business. You know, you got a lot of white dudes that sound like this. This is sports talk radio. I'm not. Come on, man. It's the same. You know, it's the same fucking guys. And then you got, you know, you got your brothers that are doing it. A lot of ball players that are taking over doing their sports, and I love that shit. But I also think that. Shit, man, we're the consumer Latinos. We're the ones watching these fucking sports. And if you can get talent, you know, you got to remember, you got to get the talent out there to speak it right, to deliver it right, and give away some really dope shit. We're going to be giving away, shit that very dope shit, bro.
How are y'all doing it 24/7?
Well, it's going to be a show that just plays 24/7.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a live show once a week live show. It's a 2-hour live show once a week, and you're gonna be hearing it throughout the week, you know, on repeat. And as this builds, you'll be hearing new shows, new personalities. We're gonna grow this. This is ownership shit, man. This is an entire type league thing that I'm taking over, that I'm holding down. And hear me out. Like a friend of mine was telling me. You have an assistant? You need an assistant? And hear me out on this. I am the assistant right now. I'm not just the assistant. I'm the creator. I'm the writer. I'm the producer. See, here's the thing, AD. A lot of people think they can do this, and some of them can only do this part. They can't do that part. They can't produce, but they got personality. They got no personality, but they can produce. They can produce, but they can't write. They can create, but they can't control. Like it's just if you know your gift from God, if you know the gift that God gave you, use it. You know what I'm saying? God gave me something that's I know it all. I've always produced myself. I've always written for myself. I've been writing for all these fucking people that people don't even know that I've been writing for all these years. I'm like a ghostwriter for Rick Dees, a ghostwriter for George Lopez, a ghostwriter for De La Hoya, a ghostwriter for fucking, you know, Mayweather, a ghostwriter for Canelo, a ghostwriter with Big Three shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah. I mean, you don't realize that all this stuff that you're doing, all this stuff you're creating, all this stuff you're writing, you're delivering your own fucking stories. No one gives me no props. No one tells me, here, read this. No one's giving me a sheet of paper and said, here, Tat, these are your bullet points. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. I've had it, man. I'm one of the hardest working motherfuckers in this business, bro. And you know what? If people don't see that, good. I made it visible so that you can't. I've done this shit so well so that you can't see the hard work that I put into this shit. That's not the part that you want to see. That shit's blood, sweat, and tears. You're going to see me mad, angry. I'm fucking picky as a motherfucker, dog. So in the beginning of the way I'm doing this, it's creative control. It's mine. Something that's finally mine, my way. And I mean, I have people that want to work, that want to do this. And, you know, honestly, bro, it's just one of those things where it's like, you know what? If you really want to do something, I mean, do it. You know what I mean? Don't fucking tell me, well, we're going to do this and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And we're not even doing anything at all, man. Don't waste my fucking time, bro. I'm on Terminator time right now. You want to know what that means?
What does that mean?
I'm on Terminator time right now. I believe in the end of the world. I believe in Armageddon. I believe in God. I believe in a higher power. I believe that we have 5 to 10 years left on this earth. Real shit.
Oh, shit.
Real shit. You think I give a fuck what you got to say and what you think about me? You think I give a fuck what he thinks about me, what she thinks about me, what they think about me? The best thing about this, AD, is the authenticity that's going to come behind it. You know, I'm true to what I say, whether it's the sports, the NSS 24/7, or the tattoos mine, whichever pod you go with. I'm doing this on limited time. I'm not just saying that to be funny. I'm not saying this shit on some joking bullshit. I'm on Terminator time. You ever see Terminator 2, Sarah Connor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know how she's crazy and she's trying to tell people the world's gonna end.
Right.
And there's nothing you can tell her. There's nothing she's fucking seen it already. She has seen the end of the world. She knows what day it's coming. Everyone's gonna die. Everyone's gonna fucking burn. So it's like the way I was raised, the things I believe in, what I've read growing up in my life, the way I've interpreted these things to today's modern time. We don't have a lot of time left. We don't have a lot of time on this earth left. We can't keep fucking this place up without God. He destroyed the earth once with water, flooded. If you don't believe in the great flood with Noah and the ark, so be it. It's a fairy tale story to you, so be it. Mm-hmm. I believe in that story. I believe there was one ark in that ocean, and that's the only people that survived. And that earth was flooded, it was covered in water, and everyone died. And that's why the rainbow, it's not so you can wave it on a pride flag. It's a freaking rainbow, that sign that God gave us that he would never flood the earth again. Read Genesis, it's in there. I didn't make this stuff up. It's in the Bible. Now we go to Revelations and it's talking about Armageddon. It's talking about the end of the world. Read where we're at. Where are we in society? Where are we in life? The things that are happening. If you want to blind yourself, you want to close those blinds, you want to put the fucking... You know what I mean? You want to put the tinfoil in those windows and you don't want to look out of it? That's on you. I believe in everything that I've read, everything I believe in growing up. There is an Armageddon coming. There is a judgment day. There is a God, and he's coming to take it. We done fucked this world up, bro. We done fucked this place up. And we only have limited time. So I'm doing this on limited time. My son is leaving to the military on Tuesday. My son leaves to the military, to the Air Force. Bro, the reason why this is going to succeed is because this is all therapeutic. This is what I love, man. This is what I love. This is what's going to keep my mind from this stuff. I got to do what I love, bro. And I've been sitting back too long. I have been sitting back too long letting lames capitalize on shit like this. And, it's not about competition. I don't have no competition out there. I don't care about competition out there. Just be yourself, be authentic, do what you love, and bring it, bro. Bring it.
Got you. The one thing that we always ask people that come to the podcast, and it's usually the final question, what was the moment that you looked up and you was like, damn, I really did that? Like you were super proud of yourself. Like all your accomplishments. What does that look like for Tattoo when Tattoo looked up and was like, damn, I changed my life. I was 19 years old. I got a tattoo, and that was the beginning of my announcing career. Like, what was that moment?
I'll tell you. I'll give you edit that right there. Yeah, I'll give you a good one right now.
All right.
So, when I was living in that $34 a night motel, and Big Boy was having me come in, and I'm now becoming Tattoo, okay? I'm now becoming the personality Tattoo. Big Boy, the day he hired me the night that the Lakers beat the 76ers in the NBA championship.
Okay.
That's when he officially hired me and gave me the name. I want to name you Tattoo. And you're going to do these red carpet premieres for us. And you're going to do this thing called Tattoo's Monday Movie Reviews. And Big had it all planned out for me, right? I was like, whoa, this is, I told him, can you tell my girlfriend this information? Because, man, I almost don't believe it. And he was like, yeah, bring her over here. So he told my girl at the time, you know, what it was. And, you know, so later on, this is the moment. It wasn't that was a great moment. But it was about maybe 2 weeks after that. Big Boy gave me some cash. I think it was like $7,000 or something like that. And he told me, is this enough to get an apartment for you? And I said, yeah, it is. He's like, okay, I want you to get an apartment. I want you to move your stuff. And I hope that helps. Because I need you to be somewhere. I don't need you to be in that motel anymore. And I was like, all right, hell yeah. So he goes, do you need, I got an apartment, right? And I told him, hey, Big, I got the apartment. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, oh, great. He goes, do you need a U-Haul? Do you need a U-Haul? And I was like, yeah, I can use a U-Haul. He's like, you know what? Better yet. He goes, why would I get you a U-Haul? He goes, let me call. Norman Lewis Limousines was his limo connect.
Mm-hmm.
And he got me like an Expedition limo. He's like, would all your shit fit in an Expedition limo? I said, of course. I live in a fucking motel. He goes, okay, I'm gonna get you the limo. Go get all your stuff, get it in the limo, and go to your new place. But that way, I don't have to pay for a U-Haul. They hook me up.
Right.
It was the moment that you're asking was when I was sitting in the back of that limo by myself, driving to my $34 a night motel. And I was sitting in the back of it, and Power 106 was playing. And like this little snippet of myself came on, like on the show. Like they would play like repeats of the show, like the little highlight of the day to tell you to listen tomorrow to Big Boy's Neighborhood, right? And it was me, like this little clip of me like doing something funny and Big Boy's Neighborhood tomorrow, 5 a.m., right? And I started breaking down, man. I broke down because it was, no one's around. I'm by myself. No one's there to watch me. No one can see me. No one knows what I'm feeling. No one knows but I was alone. I was alone in this big moment of my life, driving alone in an Expedition limo to my $34 a night motel. And I knew right there on that moment, I will never look back again. I will never be in a motel again. I will never live this way again. And this is my moment. This is truly my moment to, you know, you either run with it or you fail, you know? And look at, bro, here we are talking about it. You know, I think we did good. I think we did all right, man. You know?
That was dope, man. Thank you for sharing, man.
Thank you, bro.
Man, I appreciate you stopping by the podcast. You're welcome anytime, and kill it on your show.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Listen, if you can, follow at NSSS 24/7. At NSSS is 3 S's 24/7. Nonstop Sports Show 24/7. And subscribe to the YouTube channel NSS 24/7. NSS 24/7. Everything's gonna be done. I'm also building a really dope app as well. This is all good, bro. This is like a really dope platform that I'm gonna have. I'm doing this different than everybody else, AD. Like you know how I gotta do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know that. You know me good enough to know Tat ain't gonna come with some janky shit.
Right.
Tat's gonna come with and set the bar very high. You know what I'm saying? So I'm coming with so many. My team is incredible, and I gotta say this before I go, brother. I want to thank both of you guys, especially you though, AD, because I feel that podcasting, doing radio, cracking a mic, I was almost done with it. I felt very like this has been good and bad to me. You know what I'm saying? And when something like that affects your life, you like kind of hate it as much as you love it. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want no part of it. And I wanted my picture to kind of fade away, where it's just like, remember Tattoo? Remember Tattoo? Remember Tattoo? I wanted it to be mysterious. Like Tattoo left this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Tattoo never tried to hang on to this shit. I'm Tattoo with power. I don't even tell people that shit. If you know me from that, you know me from that. But I don't go around floating and boating that I'm Tattoo with power or I'm Tattoo with Kday. Those fucking days are over for me. I'm just my own brand now. Tattoo. You know what I'm saying? If you remember me from Kday, Power, Golden Boy, Big 3, whatever it is that you know me from, cool, and I appreciate it. But I was backing away from this shit for a while. And you know what, AD? Seeing how you guys have maneuvered and seeing how you guys have grown and just seeing it, like I actually got to see this shit from the bottom when it just started with my own eyes to see what it has become now. It inspired me and it helped me get up and remember you, especially AD. Honestly, this is why I'm giving you this interview. I'm not giving you this interview for likes. If this goes viral, if this help, and whatever it does, I'm not giving it for that. I'm coming here because you're opening your doors to me to help promote my shit, number one.
Right.
But number two, you did something for me where I owe you this one. I owe you this one, bro, because you opened a floodgate in my mind and helped me remember who I was as far as this shit goes right here. I can put my mic on Big 3. I do all these interviews all about the Big 3, the voice, the commercials. That's all day, all day. But there's something that I forgot about this. There's these questions that you ask me even on this interview that are helping me remind myself, motherfucker, you're the man.
Right.
You're the fucking man. And sometimes you need people like this. And you guys, people don't get the interviewer, the shows. A lot of people, they don't know how to give back the credit and cycle this shit. They just think they're big enough to be on here. All right, dog, thank you very much. Like, motherfucker, you ain't that big to be, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You ain't that big, bro. To come on my show and this and walk out like, all right, like you did me a solid. No, you guys are doing me a solid as much. That's why I'm giving you these stories. If people like them, if people care about them, if people believe them, whatever it is. But I owe you this one, AD, because you opened a gate in my brain to come back and hit this shit. So I appreciate that, bro. Really, truly, from the bottom of my heart.
I appreciate you
man.
too. I can't wait to see the first episode.
Let's do it. It's gonna go down. Okay, guys. April 30th is my first episode.
Okay.
April 30th, okay? So get ready for that, man. It's going to be fun, brother. And I appreciate you guys very much, man. TFU all day.